Let's learn about quadratic equations. Quadratic equations are equations or terms maybe for which the highest power of the variable is 2. So for example, if you have something like x square plus 5x plus 3 is equal to 0 and the power is 2, this is called a quadratic equation. So if you have something, the other equation which we learned in the previous videos is 3x plus 5. This is a linear equation, and cubic equation is x cube plus 5x. Where the power is 3, it is called a cubic equation. So today we are going to learn about quadratic equations. So when you have a quadratic equation like this, the main thing what you have to understand is this will always have two roots. Okay, or roots, or it can be called as solutions. So two solutions. Linear equation will always have one solution. Quadratic equation will have two solutions. Okay, there are many methods which we can use to solve a quadratic equation. For example, if you have a quadratic equation, maybe the first one is factorizing. So if you have a quadratic equation like x square minus 5x minus 6 is equal to 0, what you can do is you can factorize this with x minus 6 and x plus 1, which is equal to 0. If you don't know how it is, minus 6 can be the factors of minus 6, or maybe I will take plus 6, 1 and 6, 2 and 3, and then I will see what two numbers added together, whether positive or negative, will give me minus 5. So in that case, I find it as minus 6 and plus 1, and then this will yield minus 5, which is the middle term of this quadratic equation. So I can write it as x minus 6 and x plus 1, and then I can put this as x minus 6 is equal to 0 or x plus 1 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 6, x is equal to minus 1. So this is how we find the equation. Again, now if you have another equation like 4t square minus 100 is equal to 0. This is also a quadratic equation because the power of the highest power is 2. So in this case, what you can do is 4t square is equal to 100. So I just bring the 100 that side. Then t square is equal to 100 minus 4, which is equal to 25. And then t is equal to square root of 25. And one thing which you have to remember here is it is t is equal to plus or minus, sorry about that, t is equal to plus or minus 5. So root 25 will have two roots, which is like plus or minus 5. This is one thing which you have to remember when it comes to the leaving cert context. Okay, the second method of solving a quadratic equation is the quadratic formula. It's also called minus b formula. Okay, it's also there in the formula book. So you need not memorize it, but you need to remember that there is a formula which you can use for solving the equation. So in this formula, what it says is x is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, the a, b and c falls with the quadratic equation of the type ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Okay, so if this is the equation, this is the formula with which we can find the values. So if you need to take an example, you can, let's take an example of this. So x square minus 6x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now I can write this as ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. In this case, a is equal to 1. B is equal to minus 6 and C is equal to minus 3, and then I can write x is equal to minus b plus or minus. So I'm just subbing in this formula. So it will be minus of minus 6, which is like plus 6 square root of b square is 6 square minus 4 times 1 times minus 3 over 2 times 1. Okay, then which can be simplified as 6 plus square root of 36 plus 12 over 2, which is equal to 6 plus or minus square root of 48 over 2. And then you can further simplify this as 6 plus or minus root of 48. If you simplify, you will get 4 root 3 over 2. And this, and it can be divided by 2, so that you will get 3 plus or minus 2 root 3. Okay, so one solution is 3 plus 2 root 3, and the other one is 3 minus 2 root 3. So these are the roots of the equation. Okay. Now the third method what we can use is the substitution method. Substitution method comes into picture when you have a quadratic equation, but the quadratic equation is a bit complex that we cannot directly solve it using the value of minus b, which we cannot solve it using x square minus b formula. Okay, so for example, if you have an equation like x to the power of 4 plus x square minus 6 is equal to 0, then in this case it is a quadratic equation. No, it's not it's a polynomial, but you can make it as a quadratic equation by substituting x square is equal to maybe t. Okay, so what I can do here is when I substitute x square equal to t, this equation, the equation number 1, will become t square plus t minus 6 is equal to 0. Now this is a quadratic equation. This I can solve it. So how I can solve it using any method, like I can factorize it. Maybe it is t minus 3 and t minus 2 is equal to 0. So t is equal to minus 3, t is equal to plus 2. Okay, now this is not yet over. T means it is x square, so I can put it as x square equal to minus 3 and x square is equal to 2. Okay, so then x is equal to square root of minus 3, and here x is equal to square root of 2. Okay, square root of 2 in the sense it is plus or minus 2, and here it is plus or minus square root of 3. Okay, so here this is actually imaginary numbers which we will learn in the complex numbers. So here we will not take this because currently we don't have that over here. So these are the solutions. So x is equal to plus root 2, x is equal to minus root 2. These are the two numbers, two solutions which we have for the equation. Now let's take another example of a question something like this: x plus 7 over 3 plus 2 over x is equal to 4. Okay, now we learned it in the previous section that whenever you have a fraction, you will have to simplify that fraction by cross multiplying. So here what will happen is it is x times x plus 7 plus 3 times 2 over 3x is equal to 4. Now simplifying this further, x square plus 7x plus 3 times 2 is equal to 6 over 3x is equal to 4. Again I am cross multiplying, so it will be x square plus 7x plus 6 is equal to 12x, and I am bringing the 12x this side, so that will make it x square plus 7x plus 6 minus 12x is equal to 0. So that will be x square minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Now this is a quadratic equation which I can solve. I can factorize it, which is like x minus 2 and x minus 3 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 2 and x is equal to 3. So these are the factors of the solution. So quadratic equation, we need to remember that if it is if it can be easily factorized, you can factorize and find the solution. If you cannot factorize it, you just try for maybe 2-3 minutes. If you are not able to factorize it, you directly go with the minus b formula and you should be able to do the problem. Now let's see this kind of questions: y plus 4 by y the whole square minus 9 into y plus 4 by y plus 20 is equal to 0. Now as soon as you see this, you can see that it is a quadratic equation, but it's not a direct quadratic equation because it has something else inside it. Okay, something else which is a little bit complex. So we will not be able to solve it in the direct way. But as soon as you see this, you can see that there is a repeating pattern here. There is y plus 4 by y. Also there is another y plus 4 by y here. So when you see some kind of repeating patterns in the question, and if it is a quadratic equation, always go for substitution. Always, or substitution. Okay, remember this, always go for substitution. So what you should do is, like, you should put y plus 4 over y. You need to substitute it for some other value. So what you can do here is you can maybe put it as maybe u. Okay, so I'm taking another variable. So this equation will become u square minus 9u plus 20 is equal to 0. Okay, now this can be factorized as u minus 5 and u minus 4 is equal to 0. So this will become u is equal to 5, u is equal to 4. Now that's not enough because u is the variable which we introduced. So you have to find the value. So what is the values given? It's in terms of y. So you have to find y. So let me take u is equal to 5, which means that y plus 4 over y is equal to 5. Then I need to simplify this using cross multiplying. So it is y square plus 4 over y is equal to 5, and y square plus 4y is equal to 5y. Y square plus 4 is equal to 5y. Y square minus 5y plus 4 is equal to 0. I am bringing it this side, and then I can put it as my y minus 4, y minus 1 is equal to 0. So I am getting two values here, y is equal to 4, y is equal to 1. Okay, now I need to go with the second value. So u is equal to 4. So then same method I will use. Y plus 4 by y is equal to 4. Y square plus 4 over y is equal to 4. Y square plus 4 is equal to 4y. Y square minus 4y plus 4 is equal to 0. And for this one, what can I use? Y minus 2. Y minus 2 is equal to 0. So y is equal to 2. Y is equal to 2. So it's the same one. Okay, y is equal to 2. Now, so the three solutions what you have is y is equal to 4, y is equal to 1, and y is equal to 2.